You feel it, don't you? That quiet, persistent hum beneath the surface of everyday life, a frequency that others seem unable to hear. It's a subtle yet unshakable sensation that you are somehow navigating this world without the same map everyone else was given at birth. You watch the grand performance of society, the scripted smiles, the rehearsed pleasantries, and you feel like a backstage observer who can see all the ropes and pulleys, all the hidden mechanisms that make the show go on. This isn't a fleeting thought, it's a deep, gnawing knowing that has followed you through years of trying to blend in, of attempting to learn the lines to a play you never auditioned for. You've felt the sting of this difference, the quiet ache of standing in a crowded room and feeling utterly, profoundly alone. You've wondered, in the silent hours of the night, if there is something fundamentally broken within you. If this feeling is your destiny, please let this message be your sign. You have not stumbled upon this by chance. Your soul has guided you here because it is ready to awaken to a truth so powerful it will reframe your entire existence. If these words already resonate deep within your bones, acknowledge this moment of divine alignment. Join this tribe of rare souls by subscribing to our channel, and declare your presence in the comments below with a simple, "I am rare," or 777. It is a signal to the universe, and to us, that you are ready to stop hiding and begin to understand the sacred power you hold. You possess a perception so keen, so piercing, that it borders on the dangerous, at least dangerous to the illusions the world is built upon. You don't just see people, you see through them. You witness the intricate dance of social interaction, not as a participant, but as a seer. You feel the tremor of desperation that hides beneath a confident laugh, the shadow of fear that flickers in a boastful eye, the profound abyss of loneliness disguised as social success. Every conversation becomes a study in energetic truth. You register the dissonance between the words spoken and the feelings being broadcast from a person's soul. Their micro-expressions, the subtle shifts in their energy, the almost imperceptible hesitations in their voice, these are not small details to you. They are screaming truths, painting a picture far more vivid and honest than any story they could ever tell. This is the first sign. You process reality at a depth that would shatter the average consciousness. You can't help it. It's how your spirit is wired. Think back to your last conversation, that casual chat about a promotion or a new relationship. While they spoke of their triumph, did you not also perceive the soul-crushing compromise they made to achieve it? While they boasted of their perfect partnership, did you not feel the chilling draft of the loneliness they were desperately trying to drown in each other's presence? You didn't ask for this ability. You were born with it. It is a divine instrument, but it comes with a cost. It slowly, methodically, drains your life force, leaving you exhausted in a way that sleep can never truly mend. This is because, as Carl Jung understood, when you see this much, this clearly, you become a walking mirror. And mirrors, my friend, are terrifying to those who have spent a lifetime avoiding their own reflection. You unknowingly reflect back to people the parts of themselves they have buried, the shadows they have disowned, the truths they are not yet ready to face. You know that palpable tension that can suddenly fill a room when you are present, that awkward silence that descends. That is not your imagination. That is the collective unconscious of those around you, recognizing that in your presence, their masks are transparent. They feel exposed, and their discomfort becomes a projection aimed directly at you. You're too intense. You overthink everything. Can't you just be normal? They aren't reacting to you. They are reacting to the reflection of their own hidden selves. And rather than face that reflection, they make you the problem. They label you. They distance themselves. They attempt to dim your light so they don't have to see their own shadows. But you cannot be normal. You must understand this. For you, being normal means accepting the surface as reality. It means participating in a collective delusion, a silent agreement to ignore the depths. For someone like you, being normal means betraying the very gift that defines your essence, the sacred perception that connects you to a deeper truth. This is the ultimate paradox of your existence. The very thing that makes you a powerful force for change is the same thing that so often makes you feel utterly alone. This brings us to the second sign, a truth that might be the most painful of all to carry. you are allergic to superficiality. This is not a mere preference or a personality quirk. It is a spiritual and even physical reality for you. Small talk, the casual exchange of meaningless pleasantries about the weather or the weekend, doesn't just bore you. It feels like psychological torture. It is an assault on your soul. Each empty word, each hollow interaction, is like consuming emotional fast food when your spirit is starving for true nourishment. Casual friendships, those built on shared circumstances, rather than shared soul frequencies, leave you feeling lonelier than solitude ever could. You find yourself retreating, not because you are antisocial, but because the static of shallow connection is deafening. It drains your energy, leaving you depleted and questioning your place in a world that seems to thrive on the very things that poison you. You need conversations that bypass the mundane and dive straight into the heart of the soul. You crave connections where masks are not just optional, but impossible. Where vulnerability is the currency and authenticity is the only language spoken. Jung saw this state with profound clarity. He said that rare personality types often live in a state of constant existential tension. You can't fully participate in the collective unconsciousness, the shared dream of the masses, because you are too awake. Yet, you cannot fully escape it either, because you are still human. Bound to this earthly plane, you are trapped between worlds, too human to fully transcend, yet too awake to ever fall back asleep. This feeling of being trapped leads directly to the shadow side of this deep perception, a reality that few ever discuss. The depth you carry, this incredible capacity to feel and perceive, is also what isolates you. While you are starving for a connection that matches your frequency, most people are perfectly content with the emotional equivalent of junk food. They want comfort, not truth. They seek validation, not growth. They yearn to stay safely unconscious, wrapped in the warm blanket of their illusions. And when your very presence, your unwavering commitment to authenticity, threatens that comfort, they experience you as a threat. Think about how many relationships you've lost, not because you did something wrong, but because you simply couldn't pretend anymore. You couldn't laugh at the empty jokes that mocked the human spirit. You couldn't engage in the gossip that fed on the pain of others. You couldn't discuss the weather when your soul was screaming to discuss the very reason we are all here. This isn't pretentiousness. For you, it is a matter of survival. For a consciousness like yours, superficial interaction doesn't just bore you. It literally drains your life force, your vital energy. You become a vessel for the unspoken, a container for the world's psychic debris. And this brings us to the third, and perhaps most mysterious, sign. You've undoubtedly noticed something else, haven't you? Something that happens when you're around others that you can't quite articulate. It's an exhaustion that goes far beyond mere social fatigue. It's a profound sense of carrying weights that are not your own. That's because you are. The depression that suddenly hits you from nowhere. Often, it is not yours. That gripping anxiety that tightens your chest for no apparent reason. You might have absorbed it from the colleague who sat next to you, from the stranger you passed on the street. That inexplicable rage that boils up inside you. It could be the unexpressed fury of everyone you encountered that day, the collective psychic pain of a world afraid to feel. This is why you need so much time alone. It is not because you are antisocial or reclusive. It is because you are an emotional alchemist, and you require silence and solitude to sort through what is yours and what belongs to the collective. You need to cleanse your energetic field, to hear your own thoughts again above the psychic noise of humanity. You need solitude to remember who you are beneath it all. Jung called this phenomenon participation mystique, a state where individual boundaries can dissolve and you merge with the unconscious energies around you. For most, this is a rare, fleeting experience. For you, it can be a constant state of being. And here is the brutal truth. This absorption can become addictive. When you are drowning in the emotions of others, you don't have to face your own emptiness. When you are constantly solving everyone else's problems, you get to bypass your own inner work. When you are the counselor, the healer, the one everyone comes to for guidance, you avoid the terrifying task of guiding yourself. Until one day, you wake up and realize you know everyone else's soul intimately. but your own has become a stranger. And that is when the real battle begins. Not a battle with the outside world, but a battle within yourself. Because having this rare personality type means living with a fundamental split that tears you apart daily. This is the fourth sign, and it cuts the deepest. You are fighting an invisible war between who you truly are and who the world needs you to be. Jung understood that people like you live with this fundamental schism. Your true self, your authentic core, is too intense, too radiant, too truthful for everyday consumption. So, you fragment yourself to survive. You create a professional you, a social you, a family you, a collection of carefully calibrated performances, each designed to be acceptable, to be palatable, but all of them are exhausting, and none of them are real. Every mask you wear is a small betrayal of your soul. Every time you dial down your intensity to make others comfortable, you abandon your true nature. Every moment you pretend to be normal, you feed the devastating lie that who you really are is unacceptable. This internal split creates symptoms that doctors can't explain and therapies can't touch. The chronic fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix? It's your soul, exhausted from the constant performance. The anxiety that seems to appear from nowhere? It's your authentic self, screaming to be released from its cage. The depression that descends like a heavy fog? It is the profound grief of living as a stranger to yourself. You are not mentally ill. You are spiritually suffocating. But here is the sacred alchemy that Jung knew, the truth that will set you free. The very thing you have been hiding, your intensity, your depth, your rare way of seeing, is exactly what the world so desperately needs. Every great breakthrough in human consciousness, every leap forward in art, science, and spirituality came from someone who refused to see things the normal way. Every revolution began in the mind of an individual who was too sensitive to accept the status quo. That is you. That is your divine role. But you cannot fulfill it while you are split into pieces, hiding your true light. The exhaustion you feel from maintaining these fragments, these false selves, is unsustainable. Your body knows it. Your soul knows it. And deep down, you know it too. And yet, there is something else happening, something almost mystical. Because while you are fragmenting yourself to fit in, your true frequency is constantly sending out a signal, a beacon into the cosmos. And there are others like you, who can hear it. This next sign is where Jung's work ventures into territory that modern science still cannot fully explain. It is the fifth and most mysterious sign. You recognize your own kind instantly. It's not a logical process. You can meet someone anywhere, at any time, and within seconds, without a word being exchanged, you know. There is a frequency match, a soul recognition, a profound feeling of, oh, there you are. I've been looking for you my entire life. Jung called this phenomenon synchronicity, but its roots go far deeper than mere coincidence. It is as if you possess a secret antenna, a spiritual receiver tuned to a specific wavelength. When you encounter another soul operating at that same frequency, your entire system lights up. Time seems to warp. Masks drop away without effort. You find yourself sharing truths you've never spoken aloud, and they are nodding, their eyes filled with a recognition that says they've been waiting their whole life to hear exactly what you're saying. These connections are rare. Perhaps you've only experienced one or two in your entire lifetime. Perhaps you are still searching. But when they happen, they validate everything you have always felt but could never prove. They confirm that you are not alone, you are not crazy, you are not too much. You are just rare, and rare recognizes rare. But here is the shadow side of this beautiful truth. Once you have tasted true recognition, everything else feels like starvation. Once you have been genuinely seen, invisibility becomes an agony. Your frequency will no longer allow you to settle for static. This is why you might unconsciously sabotage relationships that ask you to dim your light. It's why you'd rather be alone than pretend. It's why you cannot go backward once you have experienced an authentic connection. Your soul now has standards, and those standards are directly connected to something even bigger, a purpose that has been burning inside you since before you could even name it. But this purpose is not what you think. It's bigger, stranger, and far more important than anything you've been told about finding your path. This brings us to the sixth sign, the one that explains everything. You carry a purpose too big for just one lifetime. This is not about a career, not about achieving goals. It is a cosmic assignment. It is the fire in your bones that wakes you at 3 a.m. with downloads of insight too vast for your conscious mind to fully process. It is a calling that feels less like a choice and more like a sacred duty. Jung understood this burden intimately. He said that individuated people, those who have integrated their shadows and found their true selves, carry a specific responsibility. They see what needs healing in the collective. They feel what needs expression. They know what needs creation. But here is the paradox. The very sensitivity that allows you to feel this purpose also makes it almost impossible to fulfill. Because to do what you came here to do, you would have to be fully and unapologetically yourself. And in a world that rewards conformity, being fully yourself feels like social suicide. Your purpose is not meant to be comfortable. It is not about achieving success by normal standards. It is about being a bridge between worlds. It's about saying what others cannot say, healing what others don't even know is wounded. This is why nothing ever feels like enough. It's why even your greatest worldly successes leave you feeling hollow and empty. You are not here to succeed. You are here to transform. You are here to wake something up. You are here to midwife a new way of being. But you cannot do that while you are hiding. This is where most people get stuck. They feel the divine calling, but they fear the cost. They sense their sacred purpose, but they shrink from its demands. They know they are meant for something more, but they settle for something safe. The question that hangs in the very air you breathe is, will you? Will you answer the call? Because there is one final, profound sign. The seventh sign is the most powerful alchemical truth of all. Your greatest wound is your greatest gift. Jung discovered that rare personality types often carry what he called a sacred wound, a deep psychic injury that, if integrated, becomes the ultimate source of their power. Maybe you were the child who felt everything too deeply, the one who saw through the family facades, the one who couldn't pretend everything was okay when it wasn't. That hypersensitivity that made you a target? It is the same sensitivity that allows you to perceive what others miss. That isolation you experienced. It forced you to develop an inner world so rich and vast it could sustain you. That inability to fit in? It preserved your authenticity in a world that rewards conformity. Your wound taught you to see in the dark, and now you can guide others through their own darkness. This is the ultimate alchemical truth Jung uncovered. What breaks us open is what allows the light to enter. What isolates us is what makes us unique. What wounds us is what awakens us. But here is what most people fail to understand. The integration of this wound isn't about healing it away and forgetting it. It is about honoring it as your teacher, your initiator, your sacred marking that says, I survived what should have destroyed me, and now I am dangerous to every lie. This wound gift makes you a natural healer, not because you are perfect, but because you are real. Not because you have transcended pain, but because you have alchemized it into wisdom. So here we are, at the moment of truth. You have recognized the signs. You have felt the relief of finally being understood. But recognition is not transformation. You can know you are rare and still spend your entire life pretending to be common. Jung said it best. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. For rare personality types like you, this is not just a privilege, it is a sacred responsibility. Because the world does not need another well-adjusted person sleepwalking through life. It needs you in all your complicated, intense, too much glory. The path forward will not be easy. People will resist the real you. Some you love will leave. The world will test your commitment to authenticity in 1,000 different ways. But something else will happen too. The right people will find you. The work that only you can do will reveal itself. Your real life, the one that has been patiently waiting beneath all the masks, will finally begin. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is your superpower. Your intensity is not too much. It is exactly what is needed. Your inability to fit in is not a flaw. It is your greatest contribution. The only question left is, are you ready to own it? If you have made it this far, you are not here by accident. Videos like this do not find people randomly. They find the souls who are ready to stop hiding, ready to start living as who they truly are. This is your invitation to join a tribe of rare souls who refuse to dim their light, who choose depth over surface, truth over comfort, and authenticity over approval. Subscribe to this channel right now. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Because this journey of understanding your rare nature, it is only just beginning. Every week, we go deeper into the mysteries, exploring the patterns that shape us and the truths that set us free. Hit that notification bell too, because when you are this rare, you need consistent reminders that you are not alone, you are not crazy, you are not too much. You need a community that speaks your soul's language. Drop a comment below. Just 3 words. I am rare. Let it be your declaration. Your first step into visibility. Watch how many others respond. Your tribe is bigger than you think. And share this video, not with everyone they won't understand, but share it with that one person you know is struggling with their intensity, who thinks they're broken because they can't do shallow, who needs to hear that their difference is their gift. Because in a world addicted to facades, your authenticity is not just personal liberation. It is medicine for a dying world. And we need you to be exactly who you are. Welcome to your real life. Welcome to your frequency. Welcome home. Remember, you weren't born to fit in. You were born to stand out. And now you know why. See you in the depths. You are not broken. You are rare. Stop hiding. Start shining.